Hey, healthy, happy, and fulfilled family. Welcome to another episode with me, the Modern Day Monk. This week, we are going to go over dynamic stretching. If you're not familiar with dynamic stretching, please go watch the previous video to this where I explain the benefits and advantages of doing dynamic stretching as compared to our old traditional static stretching. This is a series that you can do anytime that you want, before or after activities, in the morning, in the evening, before bed. It's a great way of not just stretching your body, but creating more suppleness through your muscles and tendons, better joint articulation, as well as strength and coordination, as well as balance. So it hits a whole bunch of areas of fitness and health, and I hope you enjoy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off by simply walking on our toes, picking our heels up off the floor. If you need a device to keep yourself assisted, that's fine as well. Taking a few steps, 10 to 20 steps or so on your toes. I'm going to do just a few steps to make sure that I stay in frame for you. Picking the heels up and walking on the toes. Next is going to be a heel walk. We're going to pick the toes up and walk on the heels. Get a nice stretch to the calves, a little strengthening to the front of the shins. And same thing back the other way. Good. And after this, we're going to do a long step stride. Just going to step as long as we can and come forward. As long as we can and come forward. Opposite direction. Just taking a big, long step. And you lose your balance, catch your balance back again. That's no problem. Nice, simple, long stride. Next we're going to do is a two-hand touch. It's a little bit more challenging. You may need to have a counter or table or chair next to you for support. Also don't need to go all the way. So if I was to use the wall, let me show you what a regular two-hand touch looks like first. Two-hand touch is going to be coming forward, keeping the one leg straight, the other leg straight back as we come forward, touching the floor, stepping forward, everything nice and straight, keeping that balance, and touching the floor. All right. If to do this with assistance, one, you can shorten the range of motion and simply just go as far as you can. Like this. You can touch your knee. Awesome. If you can touch your shin, even better. If you only touch your thigh, woo. If you only touch your thigh, that's fine too. If at first you need a chair in front of you, something to hold you up, to help you keep your balance, totally fine. You can even do it against the wall, either facing the wall or at the wall next to you, holding on for balance as you go. Any of those are acceptable. The idea here being able to move the joints to increase our strength and flexibility, as well as working on some balance in these positions. So we do those cross, come back a couple steps. Next would be a toe swipe, picking the toes up, swiping down, coming up as high as you can, up to the ceiling, and down again, other leg, up as high as you can. Exhaling and inhaling up, and again the other side. All right, so if you can't go all the way down to your toes, go down to your thigh and come up. All right, go as far as your body will allow you. Don't push it. Don't try to go extra far. Don't try to stretch into it. Let me go a little bit more into that pain. No, just simply go to where your body is comfortable going. It's a great stretch for the back of the legs, the hamstrings, the calves. We'll also work to stretch out the lower back as well. I'm going to get into a little bit of the hip structure now. Next one's going to be a high knee hug. We're going to come up and hug the knee in. Come up, hold that balance, hug that knee in. If all you can do is come up to here and hug, awesome. If all you can do is just bring that knee up, just bring that knee up so you're working that hip joint, allowing that hip to open up, to flex, and to extend out. If you can get a full pull into it, that's even better. Nice, big, deep pull Open that groin up. Next, we're going to do a side-to-side one. Similar to our long step before, we're going to step out and then move our body weight over and move it back and step up. Step out, move the body over the leg towards where you stepped, come back and come up. Step out, move the body over that leg, shift the weight back and come up. And you can go out the other way. Step, drift back and press up. This is working, balancing on that one leg, catching your body weight, loading that leg, transferring back to the other side, opening up and stretching the hips, and then pushing off explosively to carry your weight towards the other side. Another good one I like to do is coming down to the inside of the legs, going as far as you can. If you can get down all the way to the toes and drop your butt down, keeping your elbows inside the knees and giving yourself a bounce here, this is fantastic for opening up the hips, strengthening the lower back and the legs, giving you strong legs like mountains. If you can, we can bring the hands up, palm together, and use the elbows to push the knees even further apart. But let's say you can't. Maybe you can only get this far. Put the hands on the knees, pull the knees apart, and give yourself a little bounce here. Trying to keep the knees above the feet and move the hips and bounce around. Change directions a little bit. You can get a little lower, maybe onto the shins. You can play here using the elbows and forearms to push the knees out, allowing the body to learn new positions, new angles, and new limits to its flexibility. Fantastic stretch. Opens up the inside of the knees, the inside of the thighs and hips, outside the hips as well. It's beautiful. Next, we'll start going up into some flank area moves and keep the feet shoulder width apart. What we're going to do is reach up one side and out. Keeping the body in a nice straight line. I'm not looking to lean forward. Trying to stay completely over this line across me. And exhale. Inhale. Other side. And exhale. My weight's staying even on my feet. Really opening up through the ribs. Using the hand on the leg for a little support, but also as a little guidance to let me know where my body is, and that I'm not leaning too far forward or too far back. Trying to stay nice on that plane side to side. Excellent. We're going to bring this one now down the center. Like a willow tree whose leaves and branches reach the floor, we're going to rotate around our trunk. And again, if you can't go that far, you can only go down to here. Cool. Your branches just aren't as long as somebody else's. Doesn't mean that you're not a beautiful tree yourself. And just let your body hang as long and low to the ground as it can. Excellent. I'm going to come up from the center. Now we're going to go down the center, rolling ourselves like we're rolling up a piece of carpet. And unrolling from the hips all the way up to the spine. And again, rolling down. And rolling back up. Excellent. I always love little twisties. This is really good, not only for stretching out everything from the toes to the shoulders and neck, but also this very light tapping as my arms swing and hit my flanks and my glands, and the rotation through my hips, my armpits, and my neck is incredibly good for lymphatic health. It's one of the reasons why we do it towards the end of the series. Any of those toxins, stuck blood and fluids that have been laying in those muscles, stagnant and not moving, can now be circulated into our lymphatic system to be excreted as waste products. Beautiful. Just gonna rock the arms back and forth. I like to come up on my toes as my hands come up and tuck the chin. Pumps the blood through the body, circulates the lymph, and allows you to wake up, feel rejuvenated and fresh. So obviously we went through each of those movements pretty briefly. You can do anywhere from, 5 to 10 steps in one direction, or 20 or 30, or a minute of each movement. Completely up to you and how you want to move and what you feel your body needs. I would suggest for you to be aware of your body, to pay attention to what it's saying. In those areas where you feel like there's tension, there's a little achiness, soreness, even some restriction, those are the areas where we want to dive in a little deeper. We want to spend a little bit more time, play through those angles. It's your body. Learn to give it the care and caress that it needs. If there's something bothering one area, feel it. Play into it. If it's painful, if it's sharp, shooting, stabbing, it hurts, burning, obviously stay away from that. Try to find a position that's going to be better and healthier. If you just feel that ache and that stretch, that's a good thing. That's your body allowing you to know that there's damaged tissue in the area. And in that area, we need more attention, a little more love, and a little more compassion. So make sure you play into those areas, explore your body, figure out how it feels and how it prefers to feel as we work to change those postures and dynamic stretch to give ourselves a little bit more strength, function, health, happiness, and fulfillment. Thank you. Be well. And live life fully.